Well, Ukraine's ambassador to Australia is in Melbourne today to commemorate Ukrainian Independence Day alongside members of the community. Julia Bradley has been following the events. Julia, take us through it. What's the ambassador been up to? How are they marking what is such a significant day for the Ukrainian people?
The Ukrainian ambassador is right now meeting with the Victorian Treasury. He's had a very busy schedule while he's been here in Melbourne, Ash, as you say, on such a significant day for Ukrainians. So this is Independence Day for Ukraine. So today marks 31 years of independence from Soviet rule. The ambassador, Vasyl Nishchenko, he's been out, he's been meeting with members of the community and also with people who've recently arrived in Australia after fleeing the war. He has said that this Independence Day really does take on a whole new significance now, because today's also exactly 6 months on from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So he's really urging countries such as Australia to make sure there's no Ukraine fatigue, that people are continuing to help Ukraine with its fight for independence, its fight against Russian forces.
Well, it's a very important day for us, for Ukrainians, marking 31st anniversary. That's an opportunity for us to demonstrate unity, resilience and strength to carry on fighting. It's an opportunity to demonstrate that we are out there fighting for our independence, for our democracy, for the human rights.
So earlier this morning, the ambassador gave a speech to business leaders at a breakfast hosted by the Victorian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He also attended a church service at the Ukrainian Catholic Church, where he met with members of the Ukrainian community here in Melbourne. He also helped with the raising of a flag at a ceremony at Federation Square. It was there that he met with some people who have newly arrived to Melbourne. So since February, when the war broke out, 10 million Ukrainians have been internally displaced, 5 million Ukrainians have fled, and 3.5 million of those have settled in Poland. 4,000 Ukrainians, though, have started a life in Australia. The ambassador has said that when the war eventually ends, he's going to need the help of countries like Australia to help Ukraine with the rebuild. He said one thing that's going to be so important is strengthening trade relationships with Ukraine. In that speech to business leaders this morning, he also cautioned against Australia overly relying on China for trade.
You already realize that you've been too reliant, right? Because since you only can sell iron ore to China and some other limited products, you understand what it's over-reliance. But it also goes back to supplies as well. You're buying a lot from China. So in a way, I think, but it's like in any other business. It's not only about China. It's actually over-reliance on one supplier or over-reliance on one client. It's not sustainable.
While several events are being held across Australia marking Ukrainian Independence Day today, gatherings in the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv had to be cancelled over fears that Russian forces would ramp up their attack on the capital on such an important day. President Volodymyr Zelensky is really saying that Ukraine is going to liberate, it's going to gain control of the Russia-annexed Crimea, but Russia, of course, is not going to back down. That's what they've said. Also today, the monuments in Melbourne will be lighting up yellow and blue as Australia stands in solidarity with its Ukrainian neighbours, Ash.
Julia Bradley, live in Melbourne. Thank you.